Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to another exciting evening of Norristown Area High School basketball. Coming to you from the Norristown Gymnasium, we've got a fine battle tonight between two of the Suburban 1 National League powers. Norristown will be taking on Truman. I'm Alan Riley along with Bill Werkheiser, and this game is being brought to you by the Norristown Area School District. And Bill, of course, we're coming down to the end of the season. Norristown with 2 losses in the conference. Meanwhile, Truman undefeated so far this year.
Yeah, this is going to be a big game tonight, but really has nothing to do too much with the district playoffs because everybody gets in anyway. It will have some bearing on the drawings and who each team plays, but even so, I can feel the electricity here starting already simply because there's more people here tonight, and I think that might be a factor about how this game is played. When the fans get into the game, there seems to be a lot more intensity.
Of course, both teams led by fine individual stars. Darren Queenan, of course, leading Norristown, averaging around 23 points a ball game. And, of course, Truman is led by Martin Sally.
Martin Sally is a legitimate all-state player, as well as Darren Queenan. I saw Truman play PW. They lost that particular game, but I was very impressed with Sally. He's a blue chipper and a major college player.
And, of course, Sally already accepted scholarship to Seton Hall next year, so he'll be playing at the Division I level.
Yes, he will.
Tonight, I think the key thing, if you look back at Norristown's earlier game against Truman, they lost by 3 points, but the key was the first quarter. Norristown fell behind early. At the end of one, it was 28-18, and they can ill afford to fall behind once again here tonight, even though they are playing and they have the home court advantage.
Yes, that has seemed to be a characteristic of Norristown's team this year. Most times they've been able to come back and pull it off, but against a team like Truman, if you get down 8, 10, 12 points quick, you really have a job getting back in the ball game and even winning it.
What type of things do you expect Norristown to do differently here tonight?
Well, I don't think they'll do anything differently. I think they'll try to up-tempo the game as well as Truman. I think we'll see a different type of game tonight than we saw last week against Ben Salem and William Tennant because both teams like to run. We'll love to see a track meet here tonight. I think John will press them. I think Truman will press sometimes. But I think it's going to be a fast-paced ball game all night long.
And, of course, neither team can really isolate on each other's stars, if you will, because Sally has a fine supporting cast. You have Champ Pinnell in there, and, of course, Norristown has Frankie Dobbs on their side, so it can be an all-around effort for both teams.
Yes, I've said all along that you can't concentrate on just one player and expect to beat Norristown, and I think the same is true with Truman. They have some other kids that can score. This Williams kid inside is a big factor. He's a great rebounder. He gets a lot of offensive rebounds and scores with them. So they're both well-rounded ball clubs, and I think it's going to pay off for both of them tonight.
And I guess the final thing you have to look at, if Norristown gets into any early foul problems, it could spell trouble for him this evening.
I think if there's any advantage between the two, it's possibly the bench and maybe the size, because Truman is a pretty big ball club, and when I saw them play against PW, they used the bench quite a bit. Norristown has a good bench, but I think it's a little weaker than the Truman bench from what I understand.
Any predictions?
Oh, I'm going to go with Norristown, absolutely.
Why change now? We're halfway through the season. Okay, we should have an exciting ball game on tap here. We'll be back in just a moment for the starting lineups. There you see the Truman cheerleaders as we're getting ready for the starting introductions. Or better yet, the introductions of the starting lineup. Good crowd here, Norristown Gymnasium, about 50% full. That's number 22, Mel Leary. Number 24, Champ Pinnell. Number 32, Tony Williams. Number 15, Martin Sally. Norristown lineup getting introduced now. Head coach, of course, John Cresswell. He's assisted by Earl Mitchell. Number 15, Wayne Wise, has done a fine job this year coming in. Almost an unknown prior to this season. He's really developed. Michael Simpkins, number 24. Number 13, Stan Hadrick, the point guard for the Eagles. Number 12, the key man for Norristown here, Darren Queenan. And number 5, Frankie Dobbs. And Bill, there was some speculation that perhaps Frankie Dobbs might not be able to go for this ball game. He suffered a sprained ankle earlier in the week, but he apparently is fine.
Yes, he went down last week against, I'm trying to think who they played last week, but anyway, he went down with a bad ankle, and there was some speculation when he would play, but they treated it all week, and he seemed to be ready to go tonight. Whether he's 100%, I don't know, but Frankie Dobbs is an athlete, and I'm sure whether it's 100% or 80%, he's going to go right at him.
Norristown, of course, in their home whites.
I think, Alan, Wayne Wise is going to have one of his good games tonight for Norristown to stay in the ball game. He's been sporadic. Sometimes he plays real well. Sometimes he has a tough time getting into the ball game. But when he's right, he's an excellent player.
Darren Queenan will be going up for the tap for Norristown. Meanwhile, Martin Sally going up for Truman. Tap won by Truman, but it's picked up by Wayne Wise. Frankie Dobbs pops now for the jumper. High off the rim. Wayne Wise with the rebound off the glass. No good. And finally, Truman coming up with the ball. Tony Williams feeds to number 40, Dave James, right underneath, and he puts it through. Norristown having some problems here. Hadrick saves it. Nice play by Hadrick, saving it from going out of bounds. And Frankie Dobbs has it. So the Eagles will set up here. Dobbs has Queenan down the quarter baseline, drive, foul on number 40, Dave James, I believe. Blocking on James. So we've got the first whistle of the evening.
Oh, Truman didn't let me down. They came running as soon as they got the rebound. Looks like Truman's playing a patented 2-3 zone. They got a big back line, Alan, which helps out with the rebounding. It's going to be tough for Norristown to get a second shot.
3 seconds that time on Wayne Wise, I believe, right?
I believe so, Alan, yes. That's a mental letdown. That shouldn't happen. Norristown opens up with a 2-3 zone also.
And Simpkins almost picking it off right in front of us. Mike wanted to be on TV a little sooner. Number 22, Mel Leary. Scott James down low, Wise right there to confront him. Rebound by Queenan. He is fouled in the process.
Foul on Sally.
Well, that time Leary, a little alley-oop pass inside to James, and he was open until Wise got there to front him.
He sure was. Well, they look to do that. They'll loop that ball into James quite often during the course of the night, and he can jump.
Dobbs immediately confronted by Leary. He's right on him. Dobbs looking for someone, finds Simpkins. Goes to Queenan, who's open momentarily, drives to the hoop. Shovel shot is good by Darren Queenan. He gets his first bucket of the evening. And then action of Frankie Dobbs strips Leary of the ball. Dobbs going in, and he is fouled from behind by Leary. Dobbs takes a hard spill, but it wasn't intent.
No, that was a good foul. I mean, he took him down hard, but it wasn't an intentional thing. He just wanted to prevent him from getting the 2 points. But getting back to Frankie, he again continues to steal the ball with amazing quickness. He's got a great sense of timing to intercept passes and steal from the guards.
Frank hits the first. Two for two, and it's Norristown 4, Truman 2 early in this game. Leary handles the ball for Truman, bringing it up court. They go to Sally, first time he's touched the ball. Sally, shot in the lane, misses it, gets his own rebounds, falls out again. Third chance.
Ooh, we got 3 shots at it, Alan. That's a second foul, too, over top.
So Sally with 2 quick personals.
2 quick offensive rebounds, too. Sally's a cool customer, though. He won't let that bother him.
Wise loses, it's on the floor. Frank Dobbs recovers for Norristown. Finds Queenan down low. No basket.
3 seconds again. Wayne Wise has got to learn to move in and out of that lane a little quicker. Alan, we got the crowd in the game tonight, and that's going to be a big factor. Some of the games we've had here in the past couple of weeks been awfully dead because there haven't been that many people here.
Oh, Sally over Wise for the rebound. He drives it through. It's good, and he is fouled. Personal on Wise.
Who's that fouling, Alan?
Wayne Wise.
That's 4 rebounds for Sally already. 3 of them on the offensive board. If that happens a lot tonight, Norristown could be in trouble.
So Sally converts to 3-point play. Eagles bring it up quickly. Frank Dobbs on the right side, going over to Hadrick now. Norristown setting up. Queenan down in the corner to Simpkins. Dobbs drives to the hoop. We've got a whistle.
I believe that's on 40. James?
That's right.
That's his second, too.
And here we have number 20, Bob Gall, coming into the game. He's going to be replacing James. As Bill just told you, 2 personals. So Frank, 2 for 2 from the line already this evening. Dobbs misses that one. He gets his own rebound after it was tapped by Queenan. Good follow-up that time by Dobbs. Saw he was going to miss the shot and got in there. Dobbs looking for some help. Goes over to Hadrick. Hadrick's pass intended for Wise, but Wayne was looking the other way. So it's a 5-all ball game.
Great pass. Great pass by 32, Williams.
And Champ Pinnell puts it in for Truman. Queenan at the other end banks it in for 2. So Queenan's got 4. Tied again at 7. They go to Gall, back out to Pinnell. Leary has it, pops it from the top of the key. Round the rim, no good. Wise loses the rebound, saved by Leary to Sally. Almost
excellent play back there by 22. Leary, he didn't quit on that ball. He knocked it in from out of bounds to Sally, and he cans 2 more. Never pays to quit, Alan. You never know.
Dobbs, off-balance shot, no good. Hadrick with the rebound. He puts it up, one-handed shot. Queenan rebounds. Reverse layup, no good.
That's Sally's 3rd foul in the first quarter. That could be a big, big factor. But he's not taking him out. I can't believe that. I beg your pardon, folks. I thought that was Sally's 2nd. Mr. Lawler from the Times-Herald tells me it's only 2. Of course, he's an experienced newsman, so I have to take his word for it.
Those guys never lie. Well, either way, 2 or 3 fouls. You've already got James on the bench with 2. Let's say we have Sally with 2. It's not a good situation if you're a Truman fan.
It's too early in the game for something like that to happen.
Well, so far here, we've got a 9-7 game. Truman out on top about 4.5 minutes to go in this first quarter.
I'll tell you, Alan, so far, they've been playing up above that rim quite a bit. They're really going after that ball.
And Truman's really been dominating the offensive boards, too. Sally, we saw in one sequence, pull down 3 rebounds. James, while he was in there, was battling Queenan down low. Dan will be going to the line here.
Alan, did we get that substitute in there for Truman, Johnson?
Let's see, that's number...
Yeah, he's a 6'4 senior, number 42.
Right, Mo Johnson. So, 9-8 Truman.
Well, the battle between Queenan and Sally remains level. They both have 5 up to this point.
Tony Williams swinging it out to Pinnell. Pinnell goes inside this. Well, Sally coming up with it here. On the baseline, he's double teamed, goes back out to Williams. Williams pass intended for number 42, Mo Johnson, but it's knocked out of bounds off of one of the Eagles' hands.
Tell you, Williams is a nice little guard. I like the way he passed the ball. He fundamentally he's very sound. He looks one way, passes the other.
Finally, Hadrick tried to come up with it that time and knock it off Johnson's back, but it didn't work, so Gall will be inbounding it now for Truman. Inside to Sally, Queenan right there, turnaround by Sally in midair, and it falls through. Nice shot by Sally. Norristown's offense thus far has consisted of just Queenan and Dobbs. Dobbs, baseline jumper, doesn't go. Queenan right there, and he puts it through while falling backwards.
Still remains level, 7 apiece.
We've got an 11-10 game, Norristown down by 1. Williams pops from outside, hits the backboard right in the hands of Queenan. Out to Dobbs on the break. He's battled by Johnson. Dobbs kicks it, and Norristown turns it over. Dobbs pressured that time by Tony Williams from the rear. Try to go inside to get it to Sally. Queenan right there along with Simpkins. Now we have a whistle.
Hey, what, Sally wants that ball inside, and when he gets it, he's really tough. They got to keep that ball from getting into him, or they're going to be in some trouble.
And we have a couple substitutions here. Steve Bishop and Lou Simpson coming in, replacing Mike Simpkins and Stan Hadrick. So Norristown going to get a little more height now in the
Yeah, I
front
think
line.
they're trying to match a Truman team with some height by putting Lewis Simpson in there.
And
he's a big kid.
And Lou's been playing much better the last few weeks, getting more playing time by John Cresswell.
Well, he's got that football scholarship signed out too, so maybe he can concentrate a little bit more on his basketball.
Lou, of course, is going to be attending West Virginia next season. And Martin Sally cans it. 13-10, Steve Bishop, who's really developed into a fine player this year, 6-foot junior guard. Queenan, Dobbs down the corner, Gall knocks it out. Good anticipation by Bob Gall. Queenan, bounce pass out to Dobbs, top of the key, inside to Queenan, turn around and it's good. So Darren now has 9 points in this game. 13-12, Truman up 2.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Or excuse me, the first quarter. Williams, too hard off the glass, right there for his own rebound, and he pumps it through. Tony Williams had 16 points in Truman's victory over Norristown on their home court earlier this season. Queenan, shot doesn't go. He's there contesting for the rebound. It falls right in the hands of Mo Johnson, though. Johnson looking for an outlet, finally finds it. Pennell with it right to the hoop. Lou Simpson there. Pennell gets it, and Simpson whistled for the foul. Bad foul that time. Lou wasn't in position. He tried to finesse that block shot.
They had 3-on-1 against Lou. It's tough defensive play. Couldn't commit himself too soon.
Pennell misses, and Lou pulls down. Lou Simpson pulls it down, but right back in the hands of Truman. And we've got traveling called on number 24, Champ Pennell. (17-12), biggest lead of the ball game for either squad. Truman up here by 5. Queenan dishes off to Wayne Wise down low.
That was a beautiful pass by Darren Queenan. He penetrated, they came on him, he dumped it right in low to Wayne.
Wayne's first bucket. Sally drives right on Lou Simpson, gets the bucket, and he's fouled in the process.
That's Lou's second for a short period of time in there. Lou's not as quick as Sally. It's going to be a tough one to contain him. Maybe John has him in there to just muscle him a little bit. Let him know he's there.
I'll tell you, Lou at 6'6", Can muscle a few people, especially 220. Sally with the ball. Truman, another offensive rebound, and they're just killing Norristown under the offensive board. How many does Sally have so far, Bill?
13 in the first quarter.
And Truman only has 21. They're up 21-14. Steve Bishop with it. Has the open shot. Nothing but net for Bishop. Minute 10 left to go here, first quarter.
Well, I'll tell you what, Truman don't waste any time getting the ball up the floor. They're just like Norristown. They get it out and get up quick before the defense can get set.
Simpson taking a seat on the bench once again. Mike Simpkins back into the game. Tim Leary will be, correction, Mel Leary will be checking in the next opportunity.
They got fouls on number 42.
Mo Johnson. Simpkins that time was going to make his move to the basket. Johnson fouled him in the process.
Alan, looks like Truman dropped back and changed the defense a little bit too. They that time they were in a 1-3-1 zone and putting a little pressure outside on the ball. Maybe they feel they can intimidate Norristown's guard, but I saw them make that change down at Plymouth too. They played a 2-3, played a 1-3-1 zone, and they did some 2-2-1 pressing against PW. And when they were in the 1-3-1 half-court press, it was pretty effective against PW, even though they lost the ball game.
What was the key for PW as far as that victory?
Well, they played a typical, very deliberate game. They played with a purpose, and it was an exceptional ball game for PW. Truman didn't play one of the better games. Pennell had a bad day. Sally didn't have one of his greatest games, but PW played very well, and they earned the win. Up to this point, we've got Queenie with 8, 9. We got Dobbs with, I have him with 2. That might be wrong, 3 foul shots. Bishop with 2. For Truman, we got Pennell with 4. Sally 13. Williams 4. Whether that gels, Alan, I don't know. We'll find out at halftime.
Time to get the calculator out. Simpkins at the line for Norristown. Takes a while, but it falls through. Way off the mark there. Sally pulling down the board. Leary back in there running things for Truman. Leary decides to pop it himself. No good. Off Wise's hands right into Truman's player. And it goes out on Truman.
I'll tell you what, every time down, Truman seems to be getting 2-3 shots at the basket. They had 2 shots that time. They got some real leapers inside.
Bishop, no room, going over to Dobbs. Dobbs in the middle. Leaning jumper.
Oh, Norristown's going into the press. We'll see what happens now.
Pass knocked away. Leary coming up with it for Truman. Drives right to the hoop, misses the shot too hard. Simpkins with the rebound. Starting to lead the Eagles break. Gets down to Bishop. It's knocked out of his hands by Leary. Queenan saves it to Wise. And Wise puts it through. Nice save there on the baseline by Darren.
Feel the pace picking up, Alan.
And we've got a tie game here, Bill. 21 off. 1 second. What a shot there by number 24, Champanel. 1 second left on the clock, and he nails a 20-footer. So at the end of 1, it's Truman 23, Norristown 21. Now it looks like he just planned it that way, just popping from the outside, no problem.
Well, there's a typical Norristown spurt again. For a little while they were down 8,
right?
And all of a sudden they'll tie again. It's typical what they do when they go into that full court press. They seem to generate some momentum and get right back in the ball game. They're never out of it.
Truman cheerleaders performing right now between quarters. There you see the Norristown mascot, the eagle, appropriately named. Okay, we've got Queenan, Wise, Simpkins, Dobbs, and Bishop out there for the Eagles. Another substitution, Frank Daugherty is now in there, number 13 for Truman. Sally wins the tap.
Well, now there's a call that most people in the stands probably don't even really understand. That was a backcourt call. Very technical call, but Jim Barker's an experienced official. He knows what he's talking about.
Queenan from outside, and Darren is on fire tonight. I think he's only missed one shot here this evening.
That's his 11th point.
Sally, of course, who has the ball right now with 13. Daugherty inside to Sally, pass too hard in the hands of Queenan to Simpkins. Simpkins loses it, Dobbs gets it right to the hoop. Mike Simpkins was lucky that time. He lost control and he just tapped it out ahead and Dobbs took it.
Tell you what, I think Truman's playing right into Norristown's hands if they try to hurry that ball up the floor. All they want to do is get it up and then set up their offense, but they're trying to force too much right up the court. That's a nice pass. That's what alley-oop. It wasn't really an alley-oop, but again, Williams throws an excellent pass inside to James.
Dave James had to take a seat early in this game when he picked up 2 quick personals. Dobbs inside to Wise. Wise on the baseline, and Wayne Wise puts it over Sally that time.
He's getting back into it. That's his 3rd basket. See what I mean? They're really trying to force it down.
Well, Sally forced the issue, and he took it right to the hoop for 2 that time. Other end, Bishop, right into the legs of Daugherty.
I'm really impressed with Sally, Alan. I think the people at Seton Hall are happy to see how well he handles the ball for a kid 6'7".
And Dobbs, another leaning jumper. That's the second of that variety he's hit this evening. At the other end, Sally. We've got end-to-end basketball. Best game of the season so far. 29 all.
There's no setting up for offense in this game. When you get it down, you take as fast as you can and let it rip.
Darren misses it, rebounded by Truman. Knocked away by Simpkins. It's a free ball. Now coming up with it, dishes it off to James. James goes to the basket.
Could have been an offensive foul there. I think that's what John wanted. It looked like Bishop drew a foul, but he didn't get the call.
Oh, Frankie Dobbs, 18-footer from the right side.
You talk about being hot. Frankie's on fire right now. There's a steal.
Wise almost coming up with it, knocks it away right in the hands of Simpkins to Wise. Nice move by Wise in midair, shifted directions and put it through.
Wise is in the ball game.
At the other end, Sally has it. Wise there immediately posts him up. Sally misses it, but James there for the easy tap. 33 all.
Truman's back in their 1-3-1 zone, trying to put a little pressure up front of the ball.
Dobbs, it rolls off the rim, taken down by Daugherty. Dobbs tries to strip him from behind, and he's whistled for the personal.
That's his first, and I believe Norristown's 15th foul.
Stan Hadrick coming back in now to replace Simpkins. Going to the bench, number 24, Champanel for Truman. Into the game, Bob Gall, number 20. So Norristown going to go with Bishop, Hadrick, and Dobbs now.
3-guard offense. Well, they're doing a lot of pressing. The only thing there, that puts Frankie Dobbs in the back of the zone, and that makes it very tough.
Frank Daugherty nails to first. The second attempt coming up here, but now Truman calls for the timeout. They've used up their timeouts for the half. You're only allowed 2 now due to a change in the rules. Norristown still has 1 remaining. Now Martin Sally on the verge of a milestone. He's already has close to 1,900 points this season. And he, along with Lamont Farrell of Penwood, are both very, very close to that 2,000 point in the season barrier.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of seeing Lamont Farrell play last year when they beat Norristown in the district playoffs. He is an excellent basketball player. I understand that he's not being heavily recruited right now, and I don't know why, but I would guess it's because of his size. He's what they call a tweener. He's not big enough to be an inside man, and whether he's quick enough to be a guard, I don't know. I kind of doubt it, but he is an excellent player. He's a legitimate all-state player, too. Truman was a little slow coming out of their huddle that time. The official Jim Barker had to go and tell him about it. Next time it might be a technical.
Doherty hit his first one before the timeout, and he nails the second one. 35-33, 5 minutes to go, first half. Hadrick, Bishop, Dobbs.
Truman's in a man-to-man.
Ball's loose. Johnson coming up with it now for Williams. Correction, and Steve Bishop right there. Nice play by Steve Bishop. And Hadrick steps on the line. Or no, they're calling the foul on Doherty, who forced Hadrick out. Little contact there. Coming in now, 24, Champanel. Doherty taking a seat on the bench. I'll tell you, Truman really uses their bench, Bill.
They sure do. They've been using a lot of players. They've had about 7 or 8 players in there already.
And you know, interesting, they've had, let's see, Mel Leary, they've had Doherty, who just went to the bench, and they also had Williams running their offense here this evening.
It doesn't matter who's out there, they have somebody to run it. But I'll tell you what, when Norristown's pressing, there's not a whole lot of offense because they don't pull up and set up an offense. They just take it right to the basket.
First guy closest to the hoop gets it.
That's right. It's a nice fake and a nice shot. Cannell's a nice player.
That was Cannell again.
Last time I saw him, he had a bad game, but I understand he's an excellent player, and he's certainly showing it tonight.
Cannell had 16 in Truman's victory over Norristown earlier in the year.
That's James's third foul, I believe.
That's right. He had 2 in the first period.
It wasn't a very smart foul either. Wise had him beat. Knowing what you have during the course of the game this early, you got to be careful what you go for. There was no way you could block the shot or stop it. It was a very careless foul.
Mo Johnson, number 42, a 6'4" senior, checking back into the game now, replacing James. Wise bounces that one hard off the backside of the iron. And that one goes through. So it's 37-36, Truman up by 1, 4 minutes to go in the first half. Williams, baseline jumper, right in the hands of Bishop. He gives it to Frankie Dobbs, who leads the Norristown break.
If I was sitting in John's spot, I would have liked what I just saw. I just saw Sally about 20 feet from the basket on their offense, and they take a jump shot from the corner, and he's way out of the play. If I'm sitting where John is, I kind of like that kind of thing. Tell him to keep him out there all night. There he is.
Hadrick going for it. Let's see. And it's going to be Norristown's ball as number 24, Champanel, couldn't keep his feet in bounds.
I got to tell my guards when Sally's 20 feet from the basket, we don't want you shooting the ball.
That's interesting, though, because he was playing down low throughout the opening, the first quarter, and most of the second quarter. Now they've shifted him outside. Wise shot too hard. Queenan coming up with the rebound. He falls. The ball's loose. Frank Dobbs, good hustle there. They're calling the foul on Wayne Wise.
Wow.
I thought it was a clean tie up there for the jump.
I sure did too. That's his second too. Now if Wayne doesn't lose his head, he'll be fine. He gets all upset about something. It's only 2 on him.
And John Cresswell immediately putting Mike Simpkins in there. Can't hurt. Wise takes a little breather and calms down.
Now, but he's into the ball game tonight. I hate to see him on the bench. When he's right, he's a big help.
39-38 Truman. 3:13 to go. Hadrick finally finds Dobbs, and he is fouled as Bob Galls comes across the front.
Well, that was close to being a violation on Williams' part. He almost stepped in there too soon. If he misses, he gets another one.
Gall pulling it down. 39 all, less than 3. Sally, way outside. They go to Williams. His shot blocked by Simpkins. Comes up with it.
There's a breakaway.
And Frankie Dobbs converts. All made possible courtesy of Mike Simpkins' block at the other end on Tony Williams' shot. Williams stripped now by Dobbs. He wisely holds it up, looking for some help. Hadrick coming back into the backcourt to help him now. Williams right on Hadrick. He finds Bishop, who drives right to the hoop. And Bishop will be going to the line because number 24, Champ Pinnell, met him, and he's whistled for the foul.
I tell you, that was a smart play on Stevie's part. He saw Sally coming in, and there's no way he's going to get it off. He just pulled the brakes up, got, I believe it was Pinnell off his feet, and drew a foul. It was a smart play, very intelligent basketball play.
Bishop gets the first.
I'll tell you what, Alan, I'm seeing something that I can't really believe. They got a player the caliber of Sally, and they're really not doing a whole lot to get the ball into him inside where the strength is. You get 3-point plays in it. The guy's a great player, and the guards are letting it fly from outside, and Sally's away from the basket. It doesn't make sense to me. I got a player his caliber. I got to keep him close to the basket and try to get it into him.
But now they've got him roaming on the baseline.
And now he's in there. But they're trying to force the ball through. They're not even looking inside to him.
And the strange thing about it is there's a guy, Sally, who had 13 of Truman's 21 points in the first quarter, and yet here he's been relatively quiet in the second quarter.
He had 17 points at the end of the first quarter. He's got nothing right now in the second quarter, not getting the ball to him. But there it is. He's going to get it himself. But I will say he's being very patient.
Leary, wild shot, but it goes through. They don't give you points for form. 42-41, Norristown up by 1. Minute 40 here.
It's a walk. Come on, Steve. Where was he up there?
Queenan has Bishop. He misses it, and Queenan puts it through. Long lead pass now at the other end to Sally. Sally waiting. Norristown quickly back on defense. And now shot blocked by Queenan. Right in the hands of Johnson. Leary spreads it.
Well, it's good to see the crowd into a game again. We haven't heard that for a long time. That's what two good teams will do for you. You get people here, you get them in the ball game, and it helps the home team, I'm telling you.
Queenan knocks it away right in the hands of Pinnell, who midair puts it up. Sally comes down with it, and he goes in for the 2. It's 44-43, 50 seconds to go, first half.
I'm telling you, and that's where he belongs. And if he stays outside, I'm sure John's going to be very happy about it.
Hadrick has Bishop. Norristown set up here for the last shot, or too much time?
Well, if they can hold the ball and spread it out, I would hold it. They got the guards in there to do it with. They got Hadrick, Bishop, and Dobbs. I'd keep the two big kids away from the ball. Keep Hadrick, Bishop, and Dobbs outside handling the ball.
They get it in to Queenan on the baseline. Darren. And Darren wide open on the baseline. No one tried to stop him.
That's the man to go to when you're down to the end of the time.
10 seconds left here. Sally has it. Sally going right to the basket. Shot is no good. Whistle on Mike Simpkins. Well, you know that time it didn't matter where he got it. He was going to go for it. 6 seconds to go here.
But I'll tell you what, I think Truman's getting out of their game plan if they had one. It's just like they're going for themselves. Early in the game, they showed a little continuity. Right now, it looks like a playground game. There's no set plan to get the ball in any particular player.
And Norristown's capitalizing.
They certainly are. They're playing with a purpose. They want to get the ball inside to Darren and have him take to the basket. Truman doesn't seem to be doing that.
Sally hits 1 of 2. So it was a good foul from Simpkins' viewpoint. Bishop to Queenan, 3 seconds left to go. Queenan in midair, puts it high off the glass, it doesn't fall. So at the end of the first half, it's Norristown up by 2, 46-44. And we'll be right back in just a minute with the halftime show.
I want to check this.
Here at halftime, what a first half of basketball. Norristown up by 2, 46-44 over Truman. I'm Alan Raleigh along with Bill Werkheiser. And Bill, what more could you ask for? You said earlier in the pregame show that it was going to be a running type of game. We saw Norristown at one point in the first quarter fall behind by 7 points, but then so quickly they turned it on.
Yeah, as soon as they put the full court press on, they went on a spurt like about 8 straight points and get right back in the ball game. And that, again, that's been typical of Norristown's team. I said also that if we're going to stay in it, Wise is going to have a good ball game, and I think he's into the game tonight. He's playing his game, and he's doing a nice job.
And of course, I think a thing that we touched on many times in that second quarter especially, Norristown got Truman to play their type of game. Norristown thrives on the transition game, the running game, but Truman, they seem to be rushing the ball up the court too quickly, and they weren't taking advantage of having Sally down low when he was near the basket.
That's exactly right. Norristown's press is a containing type press. They try to steal once in a while, but I think what Truman has to do is maybe get the ball up court, then pull up and maybe get their strength up with the ball like Sally inside and James inside, but they're not doing that. They're coming up with the ball quick, taking some wild jump shots and trying to force the ball to the basket and turning the ball over.
That's true, and of course Norristown got fine performances in that first half from Darren Queenan and Frank Dobbs, and they really carried the team until Bishop and Wise and Simpkins got into the offensive flow.
Well, Queenan is into the ball game. He thrives on competition. He's got a personal challenge here tonight too, because Darren is the leading scorer in this area, and of course Sally's one of the leading scorers in the Delaware Valley area, and he wants to play well against this team, and he is playing well, and it just shows that he's a quality basketball player as well as a quality kid.
Okay, and Darren in that first half, 15 points. Dobbs with 16, Wise with 9, Bishop with 3, and Hadrick with 2, and of course Sally leading Truman. He's got
20. Pinnell, of course, got 10. Leary 2. Williams 4. James 6. And Doherty 2. I'd like to say something about Frankie Dobbs too. He's another one I think it thrives on competition. I've been praising him all year, and I think he's an excellent guard, and he continues to do a good job. And again, the tougher the competition, the better he plays, which is proven tonight.
Okay, so we should have one heck of a game here in the second half.
I'll tell you what, if we keep going like this, we'll be able to reach the century mark. There's not a whole lot of defense being played tonight, but it's a good ball game, and I think the crowd's into it, and therefore that helps get the players into it too.
Okay, so let's go down now for the third quarter.
There's no fouls, an interesting point here too. We have James from Truman with 3, and he's starting the second half, but if he gets an early foul, you can bet he's going to be on the bench quick. And he's an important factor because he's a strong player inside. They like to alley-oop the ball to him and get the ball closer to the basket to him. So we'll see what happens early.
There's Wise right to the basket, and he goes in for the easy 2. And you know, you were just talking about James. Wise was going, the only guy there was James, and he backed off.
Well, he used his head that time. No sense of getting an early foul now. He knows what he has.
You planned it that way. You planned to talk about it, and you knew they were running that play.
Well, there's the alley-oop pass, like I said, and a great block by Simpkins. Tremendous timing. Now, you're talking Simpkins about 6'1", if that, and James about 6'4", 6'5", and he blocks his shot.
Leary, sandwiched by 2 Norristown defenders. The ball's loose. Hadrick comes up with it. Wise is open. Easy layup, so Wayne Wise is really into this game. He's got a quick 4.
Hey, Hadrick made that play. He picked up a loose ball and just flipped it to Wise on the break.
Simpkins going for the steal there. Leary has it, swings it over now to Williams. Williams bangs it in from outside.
Hey, Alan, Truman's a talented basketball team. They get a lot of players.
Queenan, Hadrick, Simpkins, Wise, and Dobbs out there, and Darren brings it to the hoop and rings it up. Queenan now with 17.
I think Sally might be thinking about how many fouls he has too. Now, he only has 2. Is the alley-oop again?
Traveling there.
He probably don't want to get that third one early either, because Darren took that ball right up to the basket. He really made no effort to block the shot.
(52-46), Norristown. They work the ball around. Williams hits again from the outside.
He's a good shooter. He shot well against PW down there when I saw him play.
Dobbs has Leary right on him, goes around the back, pops it up in front of Leary's face, and he's good. Nails it there, Frank Dobbs. Fearless, didn't matter that Leary was right on top of him.
No, he took it right at him. Oh, that's Frankie. Frankie's a great competitor. And, you know, we forget maybe he's playing on a weak ankle tonight, too. We mentioned earlier in the pre-game show that he went down the last game and sprained his ankle. You never know it tonight.
Simpkins from outside. Gets his own rebound, follows it through, puts it down.
John went into some set offense there.
56-48, Norristown with their biggest lead of the game. Matter of fact, they've had the biggest lead here all night with their 8-point advantage at the moment. Dobbs takes the lead pass. Holds it up in midair, it doesn't fall. Ball's loose, Wise coming up with it, and it's good. And give an assist there to Mike Simpkins, who knocked it up. Norristown up by 10 now. And James's shot is blocked by Darren Queenan on the baseline.
Norristown's pumped, Alan. Norristown is pumped. And Truman continues to come down and let some wild shots fly.
They try to go to Sally, but Wayne Wise comes up with it. The Hadrick back to Wise. Woo! What a recovery by Stan Hadrick in midair.
Stan is playing a nice ball game. He's a role player. He knows exactly what he has to do. He doesn't look to shoot the ball a lot. He passes the ball. He came up with 2 great plays in the last minute of play.
And a much-needed timeout taken here by Truman at 5:07 mark of this third quarter. Norristown has opened up a 12-point lead, 60-48. And I'll tell you, did you see John Presswell?
I was just going to comment on that. He was with me for about 12 years, and that's the most emotion I've seen him express in a long time. He's really pumped up himself. He wants this game bad. I asked him before the game, were the kids ready? He said, they're ready. He said, I don't know whether I am. I don't know what to play them yet, but I guess he found out.
And I'll tell you, Wayne Wise has come out here on fire in this third quarter. He's got 6 points.
I'll tell you what, Alan, the public don't think that the coach gets involved in the game a lot of time, but let me tell you something. When you're sitting over there in a game of this magnitude against a team like Truman and you're playing as well as you are, you get into it, believe me, and you get pumped up. That adrenaline starts flowing, and you feel the same way as the fans do. You just have to be careful you don't get too wrapped up in it and keep your thoughts together.
You think they'll try to go in now to Sally? Obviously not. Dobbs coming up with it. Dobbs has Williams in there, and he slips.
Uh-oh, he hurt the ankle again.
Yeah, that's right.
He went to pull up, and he slipped a little bit, and he looks like he aggravated that ankle again.
Steve Bishop back into the game immediately now. Norristown falling back in their 2-3 zone. To Sally. Sally has the ball. Wise and Bishop confronting him. He goes back out to Gall. Wise switches out to him now. Baseline drive. Pinnell blocked by Simpkins.
Another block jock by Simpson. I'll tell you what, they're not going to let Sally get an easy shot. As soon as he gets that ball in low, they're going to double down on him and make him work for him. Just take your time now, Norristown. No hurry.
That's right. They're playing with the lead here.
There's a shot, Bishop.
Simpkins, turnaround block by Pinnell. Champ Pinnell at the other end, slams it through for 2.
I got into this game. I hadn't even tell you, Alan, I've gotten in this game so much myself, I'm not even keeping the score anymore.
That means they're going to cut your pay this week. Traveling.
Now's the time when Norristown has to keep their cool, keep their head, and not get in a hurry. They don't want to get into a real extreme transition game with Truman unless they have a sure break. They're 10 points ahead. They got to come to them now. That's a good steal by Mike.
Queenan rebounds it, pulls it down, he crosses the baseline now. One observation, Mike Simpkins a number of times this year has come up with the stealing on the break. He doesn't know what to do with the ball once it gets close to the hoop sometimes.
Well, he tried a Hail Mary shot on that. I think he'd have been better off just pulling up. He didn't have a sure lane to the basket. I think he was thinking NBA or something the way he took that ball in there with the one hand. That's fine for them, but in high school you got to be a little bit more fundamental. It looks good if it happens, but 9 times out of 10 it's not going to happen.
And you know, Frank Dobbs back into the game now, so that ankle injury apparently not bothering him too much. Whistle, foul on Mike Simpkins.
If I'm accurate, I believe that's his second, Alan.
Pinnell hits. Wise with it on the baseline. 60-51. Norristown still up by 9. Has Bishop. He cast a little too far. Bishop saves it right on the line. Over to Frank Dobbs. Good hustle by Bishop. Norristown being more deliberate. Setting up that offense. Dobbs loses it momentarily. Back out to Bishop now on the left side of the key. Norristown has time to play with it. They've got the big lead here. Bishop's bank shot, no good. Gets his own rebound. It's on the floor loose. Wise comes up with it, makes a move. It doesn't fall, but he is fouled. He'll be going to the line. They're calling it on number 20.
Gall.
Bob Gall. Wise has 8 points in the second half. Simpkins and Queenan through.
I'll get a reach over because I don't know what I missed.
Wise first shot, no good. Around the rim, no good. So Wise misses an easy 2. 60-51. Sally bringing the ball down court. Once again, Bill, as you said earlier in the game, Sally playing out. That time it didn't matter though.
Well, they did that at Plymouth too. They played him on the wing a lot and they played him inside. It depends on their offensive setup, I guess. They're going into a 1-3-1 trapping type zone. That's a force.
You know, Norristown's had the wind taken out of their sails since that timeout when they had the big 12-point lead.
There's a steal.
And taken right back. Pinnell misses it. Tap. Finally taken by Queenan. Pinnell strips it out of Darren's hands, though. Finally, Mike Simpkins pulls it down.
I'll tell you, they're playing out of control right now. They're not doing their team any good. What's going on? They're just, they got 3 steals down this end and didn't set up for a decent shot. Who was that foul on, Alan?
Champ Pinnell. 60-53. Norristown up. Minute 55 to go here in the third quarter. They go into Queenan. Knocked away. Pinnell coming up with it. Pinnell runs over Steve Bishop, and they call an offensive foul on Pinnell.
I'll tell you what, I don't know whether you watched Pinnell coming down the court with the ball, but before he got to the basket, he started jawing at Bishop, looked right at him, and Bishop said, okay, we'll see, and he takes a foul on him, and he gets nothing. Well, he didn't intimidate Steve at all.
You said earlier in the season, Steve Bishop, quite a gutsy player out there, not afraid to take that.
That's right, and you need those kind of kids. But what I liked about that, Pinnell come down, looked Bishop right in the eye and started taunting him. I don't know what he said, but Bishop looked right back at him and said, we'll see, and he takes a foul.
Bishop at the other end gets around Doherty to Queen and Darren right to the hoop. And I think the foul is on Dave James. If it is, it's his fourth.
It's his fourth.
That's it. And immediately Tony Williams comes back into the game.
Coach from Truman takes Pinnell out. Whether he took him out because of what happened down here, I don't know.
That's surprising, but they're leaving James in there with the 4 personals. And Darren gets the basket. (62-53). Sally forces the baseline shot. Queenan with the rebound to Dobbs. It bounces off his foot right in the hands of Sally. Dobbs there hounding Sally. Sally drives hard to the hoop. Queenan a partial block. Wise reaching in from behind though. And they're calling it against Wayne.
Wise.
Williams from 20 feet just nails it.
He's a good shooter.
Dobbs forces that shot, battling in there for the rebound. Simpkins comes up with it and banks it off the glass. 64-55. Good hustle on Simpkins' part. And Williams, he's on fire now. He's got the range.
I don't think he's missed the second half at all yet.
I think he's 4 for 4 from that same area.
You're right, Alan.
Dobbs passes up the baseline jumper, dishes it off to Queenan. Nice move by Darren with Martin Sally right there. And that is the end of the third quarter. Norristown up here 66-57. So Norristown came into this third quarter up by 2, but that was a quick spurt keyed by Wayne Wise of 6 points. They opened up a 12-point lead, and here going into the final quarter, they're up by 9.
I think Truman turned the ball over an awful lot down their end, and Stan Hadwick made 2 fantastic plays on loose balls. He never did get control, but he just saw the open man and sort of tipped it on the run, and they were great plays. And like I said about Stan earlier, he doesn't shoot the ball that much. I don't think he feels that he has to shoot the ball. His job out there is to run the offense and let Frankie Dobbs do the scoring from the guard position. Stan does an excellent job. He's a very coachable young man. He knows his capabilities, and he does the best he can. I'm really pleased with the way he's been playing all year. A lot of contributions tonight, Alan. Wise is playing a great game. Simpkins is playing a good game. He's not scoring a lot of points, but he's had 3 or 4 critical block shots. You got, of course, Queenan and Dodd playing excellent games again. And Bishop does a nice job when he's in there.
Williams with it. Doherty now in the corner. Williams, baseline.
That was a set play.
And Stan Hadrick called for traveling. 66-59.
Wayne Wise is telling Frankie Dobbs, get over there and get the ball. He knows who should have it in his hands most of the time, bringing the ball up the floor.
Doherty in a crowd. It's picked off by Frank Dobbs. Doherty found himself in trouble, needed someone. No one was there. Dobbs coming back with that loose
Pull it out,
recovery.
Frank. Pull it out.
Queenan back to Hadrick. The pass is picked off. Poor pass by Queenan. Williams recovers on the baseline, but he double dribbled.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And here comes Mel Leary, number 22, back into the game now. Leary did a fine job in the first quarter running the offense for Truman. Hadrick to Queenan. Dobbs inside the Y. Sally right there. Bounce pass to Simpkins, who's open. Misses the easy 5-footer off the glass.
That was a good pass on Wise's part. He knew Simpkins was there.
They give it to Sally. Sally called for traveling as he tiptoes.
No, he called a foul on
That's
Wise.
right, on Wayne Wise. Okay.
And cans a basket along with it.
I think Wayne just nicked Sally's shooting arm there. 66-61.
Truman's coming to pass. That's the way to break. Now pull up, Frankie. Pull up.
Oh, beautiful extension that time. You could tell it was going home.
So all they got to do is get it up past the press and then take their time. They'll be all right.
68-62. Eagles up. Williams finally misses from the outside. Whistle foul on Frank Dobbs.
It's no shooting foul. That's another bat.
Sally has it. Queen in there. Basket is good, and Darren is whistled for the foul. Sally.
That's a major college move right there. Darren was right up in his face. He double clutched, put it in, and got fouled. We got a ball game on our hands right now, Alan.
Yeah, you can kiss that big lead goodbye. It's 68-64 now. 6.5 to go.
Well, it's been a seesaw game all night.
Oh, tap missed by Truman. Bishop has Leary right there, finds Frankie Dobbs on the other side. Dobbs going right to the hoop, dishes off to Simpkins, loses on the baseline. Dobbs shot blocked by Sally. At the other end, Williams has it. Bishop coming down. And Mike Simpkins fouls Williams in the process as Williams gets to 2. Simpkins still on the floor. He took a nasty spill there. Wayne Wise checking back into the game.
Wayne better settle down. He's not going to do John any good if he goes in there with the attitude he's showing right now.
Taking a look at Simpkins' right ankle area. (68-66). And when play resumes, Williams will be going to the line for Truman for the final part of a 3-point play. Norristown earlier in the third quarter and opened up a 12-point lead. They came into this final period with a 9-point margin.
funny how the momentum has switched, Alan. Early the second half, Norristown had it going. All of a sudden, it swung the other way to Truman's side. But I think right from this point on, the team that keeps the calmest and coolest and makes the least mistakes down the stretch, like turning the ball over and things like that, is going to win this ball game. Like I say, Wayne Wise has played a great basketball game. He scored, he's rebounded, he got into the ball game, but right now he's a little bit upset. And if he's going to help John's team out there, he's got to calm down. He's got 4 fouls. It's very possible that he might foul out. But right at this point, he's got to settle his down and try to control his emotions a little bit. Like you say, he looks a little awfully high-strung right at this point.
Eagles going with Bishop, Hadrick, Wise, Queenan, and Dobbs. And Williams misses it. Sally with the rebound. He puts it through. 68 all. Truman has come back.
Pick it up, Stan. Pick it up.
So it's Norristown's turn to see if they can meet the challenge now. Dobbs gets it to Queenan. Darren pulls up for the jumper, and it's good. That's what Norristown needed. They had to come back there and answer with one of their own. They're up by 2, 70-68, 5:40 to go. Williams on the baseline, no good. James with the rebound, he puts it in.
Great rebound, too. One-handed rebound. He's got a big hand.
Hadrick in the crowd gets it up to Bishop. Bishop.
Pull up, Steve.
Has Queen in baseline. He goes there and he is fouled. Let's see who they're calling it on.
That's on 40. He might be out of the ball game.
That's what you have.
That's
Dave James, that's his fifth. That's a plus for Norristown. James hasn't seen much time due to his foul problems this evening. However, he has been able to dominate down low.
Yeah, he hasn't been in too much tonight, like you said, and you know, I'd be glad to see him out if I was John right now. There's another point that's going to be important down the stretch. Get up there and make those fouls. They're all going to count now. We're getting down to nitty-gritty time.
Queenan gets 1 of 2. They get it to goal. Norristown pressing. Sally at the other end has Queenan there by himself. Gets Queenan up in the air. Sally deposits it for 2 and gets the 3-point attempt. And he did it again.
That's what they failed to do early in the game. Get the ball to the money player. And now they are. And look at the difference. I'm not trying to second guess the coach, but I think when you have a player of his caliber, you've got to look to him most of the time.
He rams it through. 73-71 Truman with their first lead since late in the second quarter.
Going in. Not in.
Dobbs shot, this doesn't fall.
It's a double dribble. That's a double dribble. Yes, indeed. I'll tell you what, Jimmy Barker was out of the play, but that was a good call. That was a double dribble. Why the official in front of it didn't call it, I don't know. But he came down with the rebound, bounced it with 2 hands. That's considered a dribble. You cannot dribble again after you pick it up.
Well, I think the other official was screened out there on the play. But
he might have been, probably, or he would have called it. But that was a good call. Uh-oh. That's all right. He can go back there.
Hadrick recovers it.
Go ahead. You got him beat now.
He loses control. It's on the ground. Ball comes up with it for Truman. They get fancy there and they blow it. Yeah. Dobbs, the other end to Wise. Wise going right to the hoop. Misses it. Queenan with the rebound. Turnaround and it's good. 73 all. 4.5 to go.
I'd be upset if I was coach of that team. There's no way you pull a play like that when you got a 3-on-1. They got nothing out of it. That cost them 4 points right there.
Foolish play. You're right. Gall pulls it down. Back out to Leary. Leary forces the issue. He's fouled. Hadrick, the guilty party.
It's just what I was saying earlier. You might pull a play like that off 1 out of 10 times, but the other 9 times you're going to turn the thing over and maybe the other team gets it and scores. We saw it happen earlier. The pros do that. You don't do that in high school. Not consistently anyway.
And especially not in tight ball games.
Right.
Leary, 2 for 2. 75-73. Truman up. 4:10 to go. Darren looking to take it right to the hoop. Underhand shovel shot is good.
He's unbelievable what he can do when he can sing close to the basket.
Both teams going to the bread and butter men now. Sally and Queenan respectively. 75 all. Williams has been hot from the outside. Dishes it off now to Pennell. Pennell misses it. Gall with the tap. No good. Gets his own rebound. Misses it again. Sally finally puts it through. 4 offensive rebounds.
You got to keep that guy close to the basket all the time. I'm telling you.
Up the other way now.
Truman's going to put a little pressure on Allen. Yes.
Whistle blown. Foul on number 20, Bob Gall. Queenan going to the line. And here comes Lou Simpson back into the game to replace Steve Bishop. Lou saw some limited time in the second quarter, but he was quickly saddled with 2 quick personals and took a seat on the bench.
I think he's probably in there to try to match the size of Sally down the other end. I wouldn't be surprised if he does some fouling while he's in there too. Not intentionally, just to...
Well, with Lou's bulk, you can kind of lean on Sally and force him out from down low.
Exactly. Yeah, he's about 2 inches bigger than Sally.
Yeah.
We got a tie ball game, Alan.
77. 3:20 to go.
I'll tell you what, that's the way this kind of game should be. Both good teams, both in the running. Nice move.
Partially blocked by Simpson. Sally misses it. Simpson with the rebound. He gets it to Hadrick, and Lou Simpson did his part. Hadrick to Dobbs. Baseline. No good. Wise there with the follow through. It's good. 3-point attempt coming up. Gall once again with the foul, a pushing foul on Wayne Wise.
That's a 4th foul on Bob Gall, too.
Wise misses it. 79-77 Norristown. Williams out of control at the other end. Gets it over to Sally, though. Sally goes right to the hoop and deposits. Simpson, long outlet to Frankie Dobbs, and Frank is fouled in midair by Leary. Dangerous outlet pass there.
What a player. I'll tell you, he rises to the occasion, too, because he's really pumped up. He's a great player. He takes the ball to the basket very, very strong. I'm sure Seton Hall is pleased with the way he's playing.
Sally did something interesting. He announced his decision before the start of the season to alleviate all the pressure.
I think that's a good idea. Then you can concentrate on your high school season. Brian Leahy did the same thing. That's happening more and more nowadays, and I think it's a good idea.
Into the game now, number 42, Mo Johnson replaces Gall, who's on the bench with 4 personals. Frankie nails it. 81-79, Norristown up by 2 in this seesaw battle at Norristown's Gymnasium. 2:39 left to go in this contest. Eagles trying to avenge an earlier season loss to Truman. Williams in the crowd, back out to Leary. Leary confronted by Hadrick. Probably the most patient Truman's been here this evening. Williams drives to the hoop, forces it, no good. Dobbs going for it, but it's recovered by Pennell. Norristown hurries back defensively. Sally has it over to Pennell now. And Williams shot way short, partial block credited to Dobbs. And Hadrick, it's knocked out. And Hadrick's going to inbound it for Norristown. It goes out on Champanel. Norristown has a chance to open up a 4-point lead if they can convert here. Dobbs, Queenan inside the Wise, has Sally right there, pumps, misses it, Sally with the rebound. Minute 45 to go. Williams, hands off to Sally.
Great pass by Williams. He penetrated almost all the way to the basket and slipped it right under Simpson to Sally. That was a great pass. He's a nice player, Alan. I'm impressed with him. Good shooter, good passer, very calm under pressure.
Sally hits the first. And we have a timeout taken by Norristown. And Martin Sally has 35 points in this game. Truman has 80 total.
I lost count. In fact, I got in the game so much I stopped keeping score. When Norristown had that run, I must have felt like it was on the other side again because I forgot everything as far as my stats are concerned. I'm just glad to see the people here tonight to see this ball game. I think it's what everybody's been waiting for. You know, having the two leading teams in the league together, and it's nice to see a nice crowd back here again for once, because they certainly haven't been coming out for some of the other games.
You know, sometimes the crowd is just like the team; it rises to the occasion. They only show up when they know the competition's tough.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when we used to play the PWs and Abershons here, and we would pack this place, I was glad to see it because I knew our kids were going to get pumped up with a big crowd.
That's the whole idea, the home court advantage.
That's right.
Well, Sally has one more free throw coming to him, and if he hits it, he'll tie this game at 81. With a 1 minute and 37 seconds left to go, this game being brought to you by the Norristown Area School District under the production and direction of Sam Galbraith. Well, we've got a tied game, 81 all.
Nice touch for a big guy.
And 36 points, too.
Whether it's a nice touch or not, he can shoot, huh?
Queenan, outside, Dobbs. They go inside to Simpson.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're going to foul somebody, I think Lou's the one to foul. Not taking anything away from him, but he hasn't played that much. He never really did get it. He's not a great shooter to start off with, so he's the one to foul, I guess, if they were looking for a foul. I hope he makes a lie out of me, cans him like Denson did. That's good. All right.
And you can hear
Lou. What I know about foul shooting. Last time I said that, Denson cans two to beat Kenrick. Make it again, Lou. Make it again. That's good.
Well, Lou's fan club is going crazy here. 83-81, Norristown up. 1 minute and 15 seconds to go, folks. Real barn burner here at the gymnasium. Leary over to Pinnell. Pinnell pops, misses. Wise with the rebound. Norristown on the break. 3 and 2, 1 minute to go. Picked off by Truman. Wise out of control there. Sally at the other end. Sally looking for someone, finally finds Williams, goes around Simpson. Simpson whistled for the foul. Williams takes a nasty spill.
I would have liked to have seen Wayne pull up there. They're 2 points ahead, just about a minute. They turn the ball over, now they got a shot to tie it. He could have pulled it up, give it to a guard, and you know, there's a chance to score again, but we really didn't. It wasn't a sure break, and he tried to force the pass to Darren, and we end up losing the ball. Excitement of the crowd, of the game, I guess he just wasn't thinking, but the smart thing there to do would be to pull the ball up, dribble it out, give it to a guard, set something up. Maybe not even shoot at all, go to the foul line. It doesn't matter whether you win by 2 or 22, just so you win.
Well, Williams has a chance to tie it up here for Truman.
Good man to have on the line as far as Truman's concerned. He's an excellent shooter.
And he misses. Queenan with the rebound. Norristown, 1-point lead, 45 seconds.
Get the ball, Frankie. Get the ball, Frankie.
Dobbs takes it over to Hadrick. Truman will have to press here. They're tightening up the screws defensively. Dobbs takes it over to Queenan again.
Get back to him, Darren.
That's right, you went for the ball in Frank Dobbs' hand.
Back here again.
30 seconds, Norristown just holding the ball and the crowd going crazy here. They go to Simpson off the glass and it's good. Lou Simpson, Norristown up by 3, 20 seconds to go. Crowd going crazy here at Norristown Gymnasium. Williams forces it, it's on the ground, Dobbs coming up, and the Eagles are going to do it. At the other end, Wayne Wise going in, he misses and he's fouled.
Do you believe who wins the game for him? Lou Simpson played about 10 minutes all year, gets 2 fouls, gets a crucial basket with about 20 seconds to go. It should be over. It should be over.
Here you hear the fans chanting Lou.
Yes.
You know, they might carry Lou out of here tonight.
They better use the whole team.
Yeah. Why?
He hits that one too.
And it's in. So Truman will be handed their first loss this season in the league. 1, and that's all she wrote. Norristown with the upset victory on the home court, 87-82. We'll be back in just a moment for the post-game show. There you can see the Norristown crowd. You saw the Norristown Eagles did it. They upset Truman here, avenging an earlier season loss right here at Norristown Gymnasium. They did it 87-82, and what a barn burner. You couldn't ask for a more exciting basketball game, and what an unexpected finish.
It sure was. You know, I've been waiting all year for this game, and the two teams didn't let me down. It was a great game to watch and a great game to work on.
Well, you know, Norristown, it was a seesaw battle in the first half. The Eagles opened up that big 12-point lead in the third quarter, and then suddenly Truman came back, and I guess the last 5 minutes it was going back and forth once again.
It reminded me of an NBA game. The momentum changed a couple times. First Truman's way, then Norristown, then Truman, and Norristown again, and it came right down to the final 25 or 30 seconds. And like you say, who would guess that Lou Simpson, coming off the bench, God bless him, would score the last 4 points to assure the win. You know, it was really an unbelievable thing. This is a funny game. Lou hasn't played much. He makes 2 fouls, and I'm sitting here saying he's the guy who would win on the line. And then he makes the last basket to ice the thing. It's a strange game.
That's the truth. And just to recount the last minute, you know, Tony Williams was at the line for Truman. He had 2 free throws. He made the first, and then it was 83-82. He missed the second, and then at the other end, that's when Lou Simpson turned into a hero this evening, banked that shot right off the glass to put the Eagles up for good.
Well, I was surprised he took it, but as it turned out, I guess he knew what he was doing. It was a great way to end the ball game.
I think John Cresswell and about 50% of the fans here were kind of surprised that Lou took it. But John, I'm sure he'll probably say he planned it that way.
Absolutely.
Well, what a game, though. Martin Sally, now we know why he was such a highly recruited player and why he's going to be playing at the Division I level next year.
Yeah, he's a great player. He's a legitimate all-stater. I'm sure he'll have a great college career. He can do so many things. You know, he handles the ball well for a big man. He shoots well, and he's a very calm player under pressure. He didn't seem to crack the net. In fact, when it got down to the nitty-gritty, he wanted the ball, and he knew exactly what to do with it. Truman's got a lot of talented players. Norristown beat an excellent team tonight, and it took all they had to beat him, which is a credit to Norristown's team. They've got a good team. I think you saw two of the best teams in District 1 here tonight, and you know, who knows what can happen in the playoffs.
Sure, Norristown's been looking forward to this for quite a while because they had Truman tonight, their next game, the season finale against Abington, and I think that you're looking at the cream of the crop of this area.
Well, I don't know who Truman plays Tuesday, but I hope it's somebody good because I think Norristown's going to come back here Tuesday night all pumped up, ready to play Abington, and I think they'll beat Abington here. Hey, I called again. I told you Norristown was going to win, and I think they'll beat Abington here too. I saw the Abington game. They're good. Norristown didn't have one of the better games. They got also a blue chip player in Junie Lewis, who signed at University of Pittsburgh. But I think when they come up here, it's going to be a typical Abington-Norristown game. The fans here tonight that really supported the team. I think you'll see a nice crowd out here Tuesday night too. And I look for Norristown to beat Abington, and hopefully maybe somebody can knock Truman off, and we're right back in the race. We got a tie, which would constitute a playoff game. So hey, they're having a great year, and I'm pleased for John and all the rest of the kids. They've worked hard. They've come up with some surprise players, and I think they're going to do well in the district playoffs.
Okay, and tonight, of course, Norristown led by Darren Queenan. I didn't realize 30 points for Darren tonight. Frankie Dobbs with 22, 16 of them in the first half. And Wayne Wise, you said it, you pinned it before the game, you said Wayne Wise has to have a good game tonight for Norristown, and you were expecting one out of him. And even though he had some periods on the bench with foul problems, he really came through.
I just feel that when Wayne Wise is right, Norristown seems to play a much better basketball game. I've seen him have some bad games. The Abington game over there, he really wasn't in. I don't know why. Emotionally, he just didn't seem to be in it. But when he's right, Norristown is excellent. They can play with anybody because Darren's going to get his 20-plus, even maybe on a bad night. But, you know, you got to have the consistent scoring. Now, you look at scoring tonight, you have Dobbs at 20. Frankie's going to get his points. But we have 3 people with 20-plus points tonight, and Wise is one of them. And I really think if Wayne is right, this team is going to do much better in the playoffs.
Okay, and the other scores for Norristown tonight, Mike Simpkins with 5 points, an excellent game tonight from Mike Simpkins. Lou Simpson with, of course, 4, and they were the biggest 4 of the game. And Steve Bishop with 3, Stan Hadrick with 2. Truman led by Martin Sally. How many did he finish
36.
with? 36 points.
He had 17 of those the first quarter.
Yeah, it was a slow start. Champ Pinnell had 13. Tony Williams 15, but he missed that key free throw. Mel Leary 4 points, Frank Daugherty 2, and Dave James 12 before fouling out of this game. Final Norristown the winner, 87-82.
I think getting David James out of the game as much as they did tonight was a big factor for Norristown because with him out of there, it took some offensive rebounding away from Truman, and they get a lot of alley-oop passes to him, which he converts most of the time. They didn't get those tonight. So that had a lot to do with Norristown's success, getting that big kid out of there.
Okay, so Norristown comes away here with a big victory over Truman. This game being brought to you by the Norristown Area School District. I'm Alan Raleigh for Bill Werkheiser. I'd like to thank Sam Galbraith, who ran camera, produced, directed, jack of all trades here this evening for us. And make sure you tune in to Norristown School Access Channel for information on future telecasts of Norristown Area High School basketball. Once again, the final score this evening, Norristown 87, Truman 82. Take care, everyone.